Good morning and welcome to another Partner Focus Day. Very pleased to have Melanie Mills, Chief Revenue Officer at Caxton. Mel, you've been with us for, it seems like over a year, but the time's flown, hasn't it? It's amazing. But for those who don't know you, many will have met you, both at our gala dinner and the conference, and, they'll have seen the stuff that we pop into the hub and everything. But for those who are new to our community, maybe don't know about Caxton, what kind of problems do you solve and how can you help our members?
Well, hopefully lots of problems, Mike. That's the whole point of having a solution, right? We're very problem and solution focused as a business. And specifically to your association, I think, you've got a really hard working group of finance professionals. And what we're looking for is really to support them with efficiencies. So it's about time savings, money savings. And I think there's lots of different ways that we can support, but fundamentally, it's about holding on to money for longer and cash flow. I think from a business perspective, obviously that's highly valuable to any finance department. We offer faster payments, so they're near enough instant. So we're kind of really speeding up that process. And we're also multi-currency, so you can send, receive, and hold currencies in over 30 different currencies. And over 150 tradable currency pairs, and also a lot far better rates than your high street banks. And then number 3, it's all about being a full service alternative really to business banking. And you get an account manager, you can pick up the phone, you can speak to people. We're a real people focused business. Relationships are really important to us. So having us on hand really just gives you an alternative to going to high street banks. Just finally on consolidation, I think we all know about the issues in the space, fraud going through the roof, and I think that consolidation, having that safe, secure and trusted space to hold funds and have expert support, I think is fundamental for your people.
Thank you for that. Well, I know we unpacked some of that stuff at the House of Lords event. What was it, last December now? Again, it only seems like 5 minutes ago, but yeah, fraud, obviously a massive issue. And you're quite right. Our team, our members are generally overworked, underpaid. It's a well-known fact. We are raising the bar on both professional standards and everything in the community. And I know as a supporter of the association, we thank you for helping us be able to do that. But as a company that prides itself in customer service, built a long-standing reputation over a number of years, you've been going for a long time, haven't you? I mean, what sort of 22 years? So yeah,
I haven't been around 22 years, but yes, 22 years.
Of course you haven't. What's new and exciting? What sort of innovation have you got going on at Caxton?
Yeah, look, Caxton were the original fintech. We actually processed the second ever open banking transaction, but to stay ahead of that curve is tricky, right? And I think we've evolved as a business. We've moved from being like specialists in the FX space, but now we're software as a financial service. And we've done that through the development of our platform. And the way that we work with people, we have innovation roundtables. So we really work with specialists in their space to develop our product offerings. We did that with our payroll, faster payroll payments. We're doing it also as we really dig deep into accounts payable. We welcome that feedback. As I say, we're a people-focused business. Relationships matter. And we want to work with experts in space to make sure that we're delivering for them. Look, we've got eco-friendly virtual cards that we've just launched. We're integrated with Xero. We are ever evolving. It's a big reason as to why I joined. It's that fast pace. It's making sure that you're ahead of the curve and you stay ahead of the curve. And that's not easy in today's market, right? But we do our very best to listen. And actually what I see out there in lots of different areas is that people aren't listening. And when you listen, you can garner that feedback and then you can develop the product in the best way to suit the client base. And that's why we've been around for such a long time.
Well, it's clearly a winning formula. I mean, again, everybody likes sexy new tech and innovations, and that always moves at the way. It's frightening how fast it moves. But the commitment to customer service and really understanding your customers, again, it's testament to your longevity in the market. But I mean, it seems like there's a new bank popping up every different day. People have moved away from I suppose the traditional ones we all had, like I had a Black Horse Savers account with the little horse, when I was a kid. I'm still actually a Lloyd's customer, I think. But,
so I am as well. So yeah, there's a place for our traditional banks, right, Mike? There is a place for it, but it's just like you say, there's so much innovation coming in.
So why do people not use their banks for stuff like that?
Yeah, look, as I say, banks absolutely have their space in the market. I think it's just about ultimately the lack of service these days. You can pick up the phone and speak to our account managers. We've got in-house expertise, market analysts, we've got payments experts. We've really focused the business on delivering more. It's that customer service excellence. It's going that extra mile. And I know when I joined Caxton, it was really important to me to speak to the end users, speak to our customers and clients, understand from their mouth why they joined Caxton, why they're still with us. And time after time, it was like, you can't pick up the phone and speak to your high street bank. And also because it's that technology piece, certainly why I joined and started to work in the technology space. It's ever evolving and you can solve problems by doing things differently. In more of the traditional space, you don't have that agility. The pace that the tech moves, we can listen to that and garner that feedback and make changes. I think, private banking is seemingly a thing of the past, and we pride ourselves on having those relationships and listening and doing more. Embedded payments, super interesting. Ultimately, companies want to keep control of that experience. So if they've got payments within their business, we offer them APIs so that you can actually keep that function within the business too. I think resilience, it's just smart in this day and age to have backups. You have backups in lots of different ways. And I think that that's what Caxton offers as well, is a backup to maybe some of the traditional methods. And then ultimately, we've had an awful lot of clients come to us with issues, problems that couldn't be fixed by their traditional bank. Whether it be missed international payments, errors in BACS files, or even just the complexity of changing a client or their own name. It's just problems that Caxton can fix. And at the end of a telephone, it's nice to be able to speak to someone about those types of things rather than just computer says no. Aside from that, I think we've got some really interesting partners. And those partners have led to some amazing opportunities. Really purposeful opportunities. We work with Talent Beyond Boundaries. They're an amazing organisation that bring talent from overseas, displaced talent, who can't open bank accounts. They don't have their paperwork, their passport, they don't have 3 months bank statements, and we're able to kind of fill some of those gaps. So yeah, I think there's lots of reasons why people might come to us. I've covered a few there.
Well, thank you. Obviously, there's some throughout the day there'll be additional content pieces coming. There's a report you've got, and then we've got a big focus on digital payments. I know your team have been busy. Our ops team will be feeding that out throughout the day. But before we wrap up, I've got to know you over the time we've been working together. Your passion is clear. You've got one of the biggest jobs in the company. Just for the benefit of those watching, and how did you get to be where you are? How did why Caxton? Why what fires your heart every day when you get out of bed?
Yeah, it's a big question. I'll start from the beginning. I keep talking about relationships, but they're fundamental to my career. And actually, Caxton were a client and a partner of a business that I worked for previously. So I'd had some exposure to them, and my network has been fundamental to my success. So I knew quite a few people at Caxton. I really liked the way they operated. We actually hosted an event at the Gherkin when they had an office there. So I'd been exposed to the people, and people matter. I think Caxton have got that unique blend of still being people focused, having establishment and trust in a space that's fundamental, financial services and technology. But aside from that, they are really open-minded, fast-paced, and allow people to have a voice and add value. So it was very clear to me that there was some real value that I could add to the business, and they allow everyone to have opportunity. aside from that, I think as I've gone through my career, obviously I've driven revenue in lots of different ways. I've had my own business, I've worked for startups, scale-ups, I've worked in ed tech, I've worked in lots of different industries. I think diversity of thought is something I'm really passionate about. And actually, Caxton allowed the opportunity to be able to mentor at scale. So we set up a Caxton Career Collective. I know we've invited some of your members previously to events and things we've had, Mike. But for me, that's something really special. Obviously, I'm commercially driven. I'm a revenue leader, but actually behind all of that is people and purpose. So the Caxton Career Collective is really special. And I know you've got lots of female members. And I've worked previously in the payroll space. Again, lots of female, women in the space, but then not so many leaders. I'm a chief revenue officer, financial services, technology, again, not so many females in that space. So what we've done is we've created this network where we really just lift one another up. I'm sharing my network with others and supporting them on their career trajectory, generally in underrepresented areas. So be that, as I say, financial services, technology, and also specifically like male-dominated roles as well. So yeah, I think Caxton had a huge amount to offer. It keeps things interesting. I can get bored quite easily, but we're ever evolving. Love working with people. So it really delivers on lots of different levels and lots of exciting plans moving forward as well.
Awesome, Mel. Thank you for that. And I did actually get invited to one of your events, even though it's an all-women thing. I was a bit cheeky.
Male allies, Mike. Male allies are always welcome.
and I actually it was not convenient to go because it was London and I was elsewhere. But no, I'm really supportive of what you're doing. Obviously, our community is predominantly, thankfully, it's predominantly female. It's very clever, very switched on people, male and female, by the way. But yeah, so obviously, if you don't know Mel, get in touch. She can point you in the direction of that community. I know you meet regularly. You have fun. It's very empowering. And there'll be people watching this that aren't even in AP who might want to get involved. So I'd encourage them to connect to you and pursue their careers and journey together, I guess, because you're all about, rah, 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 aren't you? It's ace. But no, it is. It's very much what we are as a community. We're very supportive and very empowering, and it's about you need the motivation. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard work, isn't it, to continue to operate at the level that's required? Or maybe, I mean, my now ex-wife had to always seem to do very capable in her field, but she always had to seem to do more than the blokes just to stay at the same level, which seemed peculiar to me. She's actually probably much better than most of the blokes she works with, but ex-wife notwithstanding. But yeah, no, it was amazing. So links down below. We'll make sure we get that link to the Career Collective in the content for you as well. But Mel, thank you. We're going to wrap up there. Look forward to seeing you out at the events this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having us, Mike. And yeah, real privilege to be part of the AP Association and the great work that you do.